tournament, he was ready. A career-high 20 points. Mom, Trish, said, hey, we've gotten all kinds of fans, links, support on Facebook. The whole town is buzzing, all 1,295 of them.
So here they go, number 32, Fran, and matched up against the Jayhawks. There is Landon Lucas, one of the more improved players in the conference, along with Devontae Graham, and of course, legendary career turned in by Perry Ellis. 4 years ago as a freshman, Perry Ellis made the all-tournament team. He was spectacular, but the Jayhawks have not won this in each of the last 2 years. Iowa State has been our Big 12 Conference Tournament champion. Underway, first possession, Ellis just snaps it down.
And the Wildcats will have to deal with all 5 Kansas starters making some sort of Big 12 postseason team, deep and balanced.
Ellis handles it, drives inside, so familiar to fans of the Big 12. Quick little turnaround, and the senior puts the Jayhawks up.
He doesn't get credit, Brent, for the ability to play one-on-one. Bill Self put him in a perfect spot right there.
Barry Brown forced to be the point guard because Fran mentioned that injury to Stokes earlier. Wandu steps out, and here is the freshman Wade. His first shot's air ball into the hands of Graham. Back now over to Mason, into the corner, Selden. Lucas with a high ball screen. Now he retreats behind Johnson. Selden fires a 3-ball off the front of the iron, and rebound for Justin Edwards. Had a big game last night. Yeah, that win over Oklahoma State.
Playing his best basketball, the transfer from Maine. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Knocking down the 3-ball.
Well, they're going to need great performances from Iwundu and Edwards, the upperclassmen. And DJ Johnson has played really well also, Brent.
Mason comes in. Left hand, yes. Can't imagine that anybody would say he's the 6th best point guard in the Big 12. Can you imagine anybody doing it? I'm teasing you now.
You would not. I did the dirty work for the coaching staff, let me tell you. Well, he struggled for 10 games where he only shot 33% behind the arc, but been tremendous down the stretch.
Johnson misses Fran with that shot. Ellis with the rebound, and here comes Mason again, searching for daylight over the top. He's got Lucas. No foul. Good play by Johnson. Lucas should have flushed that one. Crowd wanted a foul.
He is not a quick jumper, Brent. We've seen that happen a number of times this year.
Wandu tracks it on down. Wandu on the pull-up. Off the iron and into Graham's hands. Lead now to Mason. Mason on the break. Lost control of the ball. Got away from him. And here's Wade.
Kansas State is a good, deliberate half-court team, although not that time.
Selden steals. He's got Ellis ahead of him. Gives it now to Perry. Going to give it back to Selden. Beautiful 2-man basketball. Ellis just waited for him to clear. Dropped it to him for the field goal.
You know, the go-to guy, Brent, it's been said before on this Kansas team, the open man. They do not worry about who scores.
That is such a good point, Fran. This team has matured, gotten better throughout the course of the year. Johnson from St. Louis trying to get inside Lucas. Lucas does an outstanding job defensively. Hits Mason quickly. Well, he gets it out of there after that rebound, didn't he?
Yep.
Now Graham, he feeds Lucas. They're going to work on the inside. And Johnson's holding fourth down there.
Yep. No, the ball moves very well for this Kansas team, and it always has. 2-on-1 right here. Perry Ellis could shoot this ball, but feeds it to Selden. And just good, unselfish play, hallmark of Bill Self's teams. I got to tell you, Brent, DJ Johnson is taking a break right now. He's played really well.
Even Hurt, coach wanted that 6'11" size out there, so that was sort of an interesting move, man.
Well, Hurt can shoot.
Well, I think he brought him in because of Traylor. Traylor came off the Kansas bench. I hadn't picked that up. And I think that's a matchup that Weber might be looking at right now. We'll see what happens when they come back down the floor. Johnson a little winded perhaps here early too. I see that Irvin is handling the ball. Corby Irvin bringing it up for the Wildcats. And here's the freshman Wade. Ellis, the veteran, on him.
You also think that they played last night, so maybe Bruce Weber really conscious of staying fresh early, you know?
Yeah, good point. It's always at a disadvantage. The winner of that 8-night game is going to come right back against one fairly early in the afternoon. The Wandu spin, beautiful move, wouldn't stay down. Off now to Mason. Mason hits Graham in the middle. Graham's going to attack.
That's the beauty of having 2 point guards right there. Mason could have kept it, but he kicked it ahead to Graham, who had the momentum, got to the rim.
Ellis switches on Irvin. So they go hurt. Traylor's right there. Comes up over the top. Good defense by Traylor. Scooped up by Traylor. Number 31 brings it quickly to the attack. Selden. Swing. Battle. Free throw line. We'll take a break at 15:34. Big crowd on hand. Crowds will be huge here for the rest of this tournament.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 60.
But 2 great guys. By the way, 1988, right here at Kemper Arena, right? Knocked it down, but the national championship game that Danny, wasn't that Kemper Arena, Kansas City?
Played Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Tied at 50 at the half.
Yep.
One of the best first halves. Larry Brown.
Yep, Larry Brown. David Sigler, right? Was he making all those shots that night? Yep.
So Selden makes it a 9-3 game here, and a terrific start for the Jayhawks.
Yes, very efficient, solid defensively, and we've already talked about how well they've shared the ball.
And defensively, they've held Kansas State to 1 of 7, and there is a foul trailer. I don't know if he's going to have to call it himself, because that's his second, and he knows he's going to go out. And so one of the freshmen will check on in, and it'll be Carlton Bray.
It's a young man that has been very efficient this year when he's gotten the opportunity to play, and his best basketball, Brent, is ahead of him for sure. We've liked his potential.
Absolutely. Has a basketball body. Tall, lean, pretty good on those 8-10 footers that we've seen this year. Speaking of next year, Fran, I tell you, even though they're struggling right now, this Kansas State team has got some good young players on it. I think they're going to be a force next year as Hurt finishes up right there. Now, Stephen is one of the seniors. He's out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, so 41 won't be back. But there's a lot of young talent with Coach Weber.
Very much agree with you. They've started 2 freshmen in almost every game this season.
Graham on the glide in. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Put it out on that side, Fran.
Snuck it in there with the right hand. The defender expecting to go left. Oh, that's not a foul.
No, Wonder
he's backing up. Well, Wonder dribbles right into
Wonder
Bragg.
just attacked him.
Yeah, watch this. This is really nice on the little drive here. Watch him go underneath with the right hand. Defender was expecting the left. A little surprised by that last one. But
what was it Mark Few told us out at the West Coast Conference? That the only thing he says to referees, no cheap ones.
Yeah,
you know?
No cheap ones, exactly. Especially when you have big guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes get penalized for being big.
A wonder. Outside is Hurt. And Graham with the rebound.
And Mikai Luke in the ball game as well. So Bill going deep.
Mikai Luke has come on. He could be a very impressive backcourt player coming up. And Ellis is fouled now. Is that Hurt? That is. Got him.
You know, Brent, with Mikai Luke, when I watched him play when he was a younger player, he was about 6'5", and when Kansas listed him at 6'8", I said, no way. And at practice last week, I went over and stood next to him, and I went, yes way.
Really?
Yeah. And he's not going to turn 19 until June. And
he's from the Ukraine.
From Ukraine,
We saw a pretty good youngster from Lithuania.
We did.
Zagan.
Some kid named Sabonis. Yeah. Good bloodlines, right?
Yeah, this is there. He's in the stands watching.
Terrific. And a great tournament we had. And St. Mary's hoping to get in. They look like a team that
Joey's got him on the bubble. I just noticed that when we walked in between games.
BYU, they were hard playing guys. You like Collinsworth, right?
Oh, yeah. Very entertaining player. Yeah, it was fun seeing another conference in the tournament. And here, of course, we're watching the conference. It's rated #1 by all the experts. Edwards, number 14, has been rather quiet. Kyler, high ball screen by Hurt. Gets it back, pick and roll. Beautiful play.
Good patience by Edwards. He handled the double team pretty well. He waited for the big man to get to the rim. No weak side help from the Jayhawks.
Hurt moved well.
He did.
And Mason going for the daylight. He gets cut off. Wade stays with him, and Hurt was lurking underneath. Pull up. There's that freshman. That's the shot. That's the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlton Bragg, he makes that shot with some consistency. He shot 57% on the season.
Yeah, Kansas has developed terrific depth this season, Brad. I think you agree with me on
yes.
There it is, stolen by Graham. Graham's going to bounce pass, and Bragg finishes. Just terrific basketball by the Jayhawks. They're showing you why they're #1 in the country. They're going to be one of the 1 seeds. Jayhawks leading Kansas State 17-7.
Yeah, Devontae Graham, a first-team all-defensive team in the Big 12 with a nice find to the freshman from Cleveland, Carlton Bragg Jr. Graham and Mason, you know, Brent, they defend. They both can shoot the 3, and they both take turns running the offense. It's been a very, very dynamic backcourt for Bill Self.
Spin it inside Johnson's back, and so is Brown. They were trying to play a little 2-man as pick up Lucas in underneath on the foul. Yeah, they did. That forearm underneath. So Luke's got a foul. That's his first. Traylor with 2 is over there on the bench. They'll be keeping an eye on his bigs now with foul situation. Brown pull up, got daylight. Didn't stay down. Tap in is great. That won you, right?
Yeah.
Did it won you?
He looked like the rubber band man right there. Now, Bill Self has 6 big men, so he can. He's okay with foul trouble.
Yeah, he's got Nicholson.
Yep, Nicholson. Yep.
Spent a few minutes on the floor. And
Diallo. Yep.
Freshman. Bragg, a high ball screen. Now, Bragg is starting to grow in confidence and learning how to play. Kylo will give it back to him, and he's going to fire a 3-ball. Yes. No, we'll hold it. It was a whistle.
Bragg is 2 for 5 from 3 this year, so he's playing with confidence.
He's got a good-looking shot. There's a whistle away from the ball this time, and going to go against Kansas State. And, Holly, what's the latest on Diallo?
Well, it's good that Bill Self has that depth in the bigs, because it's unlikely that we'll see Diallo today unless it's an emergency. He took a hard hit to the face in practice yesterday by his fellow teammate Svi Mihailuk, and you can see he's got a huge, big, fat lip where he's had about 6 stitches inside of his mouth as we see Mason knock down the tray.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. It is swollen, Holly. Indeed, as Mason knocks down another 3. Bragg gambled and couldn't steal it. Johnson, easy shot for him.
Well, Johnson, last 5 games, averaging about 15 points a game. He's starting to remind me of Thomas Gibson a little bit.
Bragg steps out, fires another one. He was warmed up.
Oh, yeah. He made sure there's no whistle on that one.
Oh, baby.
How about the freshman? 7 points.
Wando on a nice try. He wanted the foul on it, too. It was a tough shot.
Yeah. He's had a good junior year, Brent. We loved him as a freshman. I thought he plateaued last year. A lot of turmoil.
And that foul is on a Wando. Well, the one who really did a great job here as a freshman in this tournament is Perry Ellis. Hard to believe what great value he brings to this Jayhawk team. As I listened to Miles last night, I thought, you know, I think he's right on the money.
Yeah, and the problem is, Brent, is that he plays with good players around him year in and year out, and so he doesn't get the credit. But
here's our, maybe this is the next young man, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this. He's got 7 points already in this game.
Perry Ellis is as underrated as his coach Bill Self nationally, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Watch the lob.
Brandon Green has checked in. And turnover. Jayhawks turn it over. They're up by 10. 10-42. Edwards doing a good job, and Johnson couldn't get the handle fast enough, but he's stuck with it.
Well, that's the second time there's been a breakdown in their pick and roll, because when that big guy rolls to the rim, you got to collapse on him with white jerseys, and too easy.
Coach Weber working hard over there. The sideline, good defensive coach. There it is, another turnover for Weber's Wildcats. Edwards is going to come inside Selden. Selden comes right back after the miss. Drives it hard. Plays two-man, and here's Graham off a ball fake. Kick to Selden. Rebound by Edwards.
I'm going to tell you, Brent, last 3 possessions, Kansas State has gone to a zone, and they rarely do that. But 2 turnovers and a missed shot.
They may stay in that zone for a while, because the Jayhawks have, and of course, you know what that is a very good practice for the Jayhawks. They're going to face a lot of zone if they win this game against Baylor. Good drive for the hoop. And Bill Self going to call a timeout here. 23-15. Terrific burst by the Wildcats. A 6-0 run.
Thanks, man.
Imagine if the things you bought every day.
He's going to make an adjustment here. Green will take the ball out with Mason.
Let's see if they stay in that zone, Brent. Looks like a 2-3 zone. Or are they going to show it and then play man? That's what they're going to do.
Switch out of it. Rotating defense. Pull up by Graham is off the front of the iron.
That was quick.
Irvin brings it down for the Wildcats. Wildcats working on a great run here. They've hit their last 6 field goal attempts. Going for 7 in a row? No. But it's Edwards underneath with an offensive rebound. Ball out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be a Wildcat ball as Lucas returns and Bragg takes a seat.
Got the starters back in now.
Edwards at the baseline with Graham on him. Feeding Johnson down low against a double team. Just battling away and underneath, and that's they put together an 8-0 run here.
Doesn't he remind you a little bit of Thomas Gibson?
Yeah, he does.
Played a couple years ago. Remember, he missed 16 months with a broken foot.
Ellis is fouled before the shot, and DJ Johnson playing well, Holly.
Well, it has taken such a long time. He was off the court for 603 days with a broken navicular bone. There were a couple of times where he went to Coach Bruce Weber and said, Coach, I don't know if I can keep playing. This is just taking too long. And Coach said, hey, I'll do whatever you want, but you've worked so hard. I want to see you finish it off. So DJ's been swimming every day, 6 a.m., has gotten back on the court and contributing this season.
Yeah, it's a wonderful story. You know, that man from St. Louis missed the entire season last year.
Yeah, he got hurt, Brent, in the NCAA tournament in a game against Kentucky. So he missed all last year, and he really wasn't the same early this year, but he has played really well in the last 10 games.
So there's a 1-on-1 now for Perry Ellis. Telling the veteran to stop the bleeding, right?
Exactly.
Step to that free throw line and knock it down.
You know, I think the other reason that Miles Simon is so right about Perry Ellis is his game is so understated and efficient. You know, it's not a lot of highlight plays.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So that ends a 2-minute plus scoring drought by the Jayhawks with those free throws. Selden out on a 1-2. Now Wade is back on the floor with the ball screen. Ellis staying with the freshman now. Now there's a switch. Gets inside Selden. A double team by Lucas, who quickly gets back to Johnson. Johnson's causing him trouble on the inside. Deflected. Lucas. Terrific rebound. Foul on Johnson.
Little bit of frustration by Johnson. He had the point-blank shot. Lucas held his ground pretty well. And then he just tried to poke it loose. The clock's going down, so he's got to get something up on the glass. And the reach in right there.
So he'll take a seat, and Hurt returns.
You know, the underrated thing about Kansas, Brent, when you watch them, Lucas, Graham, and Mason were not highly recruited guys. And Ellis was a McDonald's All-American, as was Selden, but the other three starters were works in progress. Progress has been good.
Yeah, you know, Bill Self talks about in the past we come in here with those lottery picks, okay?
Yeah.
The coaching staff has to be really proud of how hard this team has worked.
Yes, yes. And you know, Bill Self, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. Would you rather have Perry Ellis for 4 years or Andrew Wiggins for 1 year?
Under my opinion.
I'd say Perry Ellis, without a doubt, right?
I don't think it's got to be the rest of your life for him. Well, that's the case with a lot of the seniors versus the ones that.
Yes.
Wonder puts it on the deck against a shot clock violation, goes over. Didn't get it off in time, so we're going to take a break. 27-19. The Jayhawks have hit 6 of their last from the field.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more.
Can I get pizza for the whole team?
You got it, Mr. Cuban. Just $5 each.
Wings and a Hershey's cookie.
It's on the weak side.
Currently, the Blue Devils are up early in the second half. Also, Iowa and Illinois. Peter Jock scored 15 straight points.
One of the most improved players in the nation. 7 points last year, 15 this year.
And Illinois has a 2-point lead. Brent?
All right, Adnan, thank you very much. And here the Jayhawks with the lead. Already 8 fouls against Kansas State in the first half and 4 against the Jayhawks. Kansas basketball right now, like I said, they've hit 6 of their last 8 from the field.
A little more zone defense from the Wildcats out of the timeout.
Graham off the iron into Wade's hands. Beautiful drive by Irving.
Good, solid blue guy who's had to play a lot of minutes because of the injury to Stokes, a junior college transfer.
Got that 12-point lead for him.
Yeah. Yep. And again, you see the zone. Kansas moves the ball very well against the zone because they use all sides of the court inside out.
Graham going to get it back into Perry Ellis's hands, and here's Mason now. His shot clock is about to run down. They've got 3. Graham rises and hits the J.
Tough shot, great footwork, step back going right, not easy.
Wonder on the double, they go back to Hurt on the outside. Deflected. Graham makes a beautiful steal, hits Mason. Oh, what a defensive play by Graham.
Second time today in this first half, he's run through that passing lane and caused some havoc. Graham and Mason, they play so well together, Brent.
You know, just like that, it's a double-digit lead again.
Yep.
Wade has been fairly quiet, tries to drive in, and Hurt finishes up.
Hurt usually does more of his damage away from the basket.
5.5 minutes left here in the first half. Baylor waits the winner. Mason scored. A triple.
You know what you love about that? Graham went all the way one side and threw that ball cross court. You know, 20 years ago, coaches didn't like that cross court pass, but it's a big part of the game.
Irvin spins. He's a tough little arm.
He sure is. Played on a really good junior college team. He's from Bill Self's hometown, Edmond, Oklahoma. Yeah.
Grew up in the Oklahoma City area.
Yeah.
Graham again.
Wow. Highlights.
These two guards are spectacular.
Yep. Well, Graham has just impacted on 4 straight plays, Brent. And they're building that highlight package right now in the truck.
Edwards gives it to Wade. Wade loses the handle on it, and it hurt. Right man, right spot, turns baseline, not there, battle for the rebound, and Lucas, who has become a strong rebounder, clears it out. Mason kicks back to the outside, open again, yes! Wow! Showtime! They've hit 5 consecutive field goals. 39-25, the #1 team in the country.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Proud to employ and support hundreds of Team USA contenders. And Taco Bell's new quesalupa. It's going to be bigger than, well...
Stories. Joey's brackets have all the inside on what's going on. A lot of bubble teams. Fran is predicting that might be a few more unhappy squads.
Yeah.
Come Sunday afternoon than we've had the last few years. You know, you're right. It's been rather quiet.
I think it's going to get noisy on Sunday night. By the way, Joey Brackett's so tired today, didn't he?
Well, they're working it.
I know.
He was they're midnight in the East. We had him out there.
Yeah, bracketology stuff's not as easy as it looks, man. It's taxing.
Especially when you know there's money being wagered on what you're doing.
Really?
Okay, yeah. 66.5, the over-under. Joey Brackets. Well, 1-2, and ball gets away. It looks like we've got a first shooter, Austin Budke, out there, a walk-on, number 35. Brown on the drive. Whistle, foul against Jayhawks, and let's take a look at our bracket. And you know, Fran, TCU, congratulations to them. First 10 last place team to come through with a win here in the tournament.
Trent Johnson's team's been close all year in a league that's unforgiving, needless to say, and they stepped up and knocked off a Texas Tech team who they had on the ropes twice during the regular season.
Exactly. And, this is the first time that Kansas State shot a free throw.
Exactly.
Missed the first one, and meanwhile on the other side, the Jayhawks 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And so that indicates a couple of things. One, that they're doing a good job defensively.
Yep.
You know, moving their feet. And we know that coaching staff at Kansas. Green, incidentally, is back off Bill Self's bench. He's another marksman, and Bragg, they're using him as their big man in underneath right now.
Devontae Graham in charge of or responsible for 13 straight points, either scoring or assisting.
And got away from, look at Perry Ellis.
Yep.
Look at that senior go to the deck. Green wanted to, but they took the daylight away, so not that, and Green will track it down. Offensive rebound. He wants so badly.
He wanted to shoot
so badly.
And that's why he's out there.
Absolutely.
I just got to get a good look and a good play.
Ellis. He is so effective. He just said, you know, he feels what he has to do.
He really does. He shot that ball off one leg that time. He looked like Steve Nash. Efficient. That's what I would call him. Efficient.
Edwards on the drive. No. And Green is fouled, pulling down that rebound. How about this, though, for a senior?
Yep.
Big lead. Loose ball. Number 34 right to the deck and saves it.
And that's part of their DNA. And then here, watch the move right here off one leg, I think, right? Step back, little Dirk Nowitzki. You know, they keep track of floor burns in the Kansas notes. And we watch practice enough to know that effort and intensity are part of this team's DNA, and it starts with their coach.
This has been a very serious-minded team. Would you agree with that?
Yes, yes.
And I think Perry Ellis sort of sets that tone. You know, he did. Facial expression doesn't change.
And how about Mason? He never. You don't know whether he's happy or sad.
He's lethal.
Yeah,
he's lethal. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you about Mason.
Now, can I just tell you, in the early part of January, after he played 53 minutes against Oklahoma, and he did not play well to his standards the next 6 or 7 games, the coaching staff told me when he doesn't play with great energy, there are a number of point guards in the league as good as he is. Now, I think I made that point on TV, and Frank Mason reacted beautifully.
Oh, I read all about it, man.
Oh, I know.
But he was gentlemanly about it.
You know, hey, listen, I told him at the Big 12 media day, I said, you need to play with a chip on your shoulder.
You got to move him up in the ranking.
Well, he's already moved up, trust me. And he's not only that, he's going to be moving up in the NCAA tournament. I don't mind if they shoot the messenger every now and then, you know.
Why not? You wouldn't be a good messenger in our racket if you weren't shot.
Exactly right.
Trust me on that.
Absolutely.
So Wondu draws the foul, and he'll come back to the free throw line here. We're at the 2:30 mark. This is our second semifinal. In case you're just joining us, Baylor dominated Texas in our opener, and Baylor will play the winner of this game in our first semifinal in the Big 12 tomorrow evening. Then two great quarterfinals coming your way tonight, especially the one, Oklahoma and Iowa State. I think TCU will be hard-pressed against the second seed West Virginia. They'll be a big underdog in that game. But that second matchup, if you like college basketball, Iowa State and Oklahoma is going to be as good as it gets.
Well, think of the energy TCU had to expend last night. Now they got to go up against that fresh Virginia.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be easy.
Not going to be easy.
Green has it deflected, tracks it back down. Green's being a team player, though, for Coach Suff. You know, he got himself in the doghouse. The Kansas State game, and there he is, firing finally, and it didn't go down. Ellis couldn't get a hand on it. Wondu's a good-looking player. Short. And it's going over. There's a I believe it's going to be a foul against the Jayhawks. And I want to remind everybody, of course, this is a big day. Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Bracketology. All the selections will be out. Everybody will have a bracket. Reese will be along with two J's, Williams and Villas, along with Seth, and we get all our experts weighing in. We'll see how well Joey Brackets does. It's a very exciting time when you're a college basketball fan, and the teams are sent in this direction next. And here's how Joe likes the Big 12 right now, and he's got Texas Tech, despite losing, still as a 9 seed right there.
So 9 means they're safely in the field.
Well, and the one thing about that is, as you know, at 8-9 is an interesting spot, because if you could draw ones if you can win that first matchup.
I got to tell you, this is a year where there's going to be some really good. You know, Gonzaga could be a 9 seed or 8 seed. Think about that. You're a 1 seed playing them in the round of 32.
With Curry Ellis, the jump hook didn't get it done this time. Kansas State trying to mount a little bit of a rally here. Kansas State, they're a little bit cold from the field. They just can't get the field goals to drop. They've missed their last 4.
There goes
ball on 3.
I thought he stepped on the line, but really wasn't a good spot. Mike Stewart couldn't see it. It was close, but again, Graham with the havoc defensively.
There's 5 on that shot. Brown rattles out. They miss again from the field. Final minute.
Well, some of this is fatigue, and a lot of it is Kansas's defense.
There's no question. When you look at the foul situation, 8 against the Jayhawks. Bragg and Traylor will go to the second half with 2 apiece. Kansas State, Brown has 2. Johnson has 2. They have 9 fouls against them. Jayhawks have got it again. Look at that. Waited for Ellis. Ellis finishes emphatically.
Perfect example of the unselfishness right here. Easy play by Mason. And again, the defense causing some offense and headaches for Bruce Weber.
Hurt pulls a trade. They can't buy a field goal. But in underneath now, Edwards comes back. It's going to fall. So that ends a streak of 6 misses for the Wildcats, down by 15. Final shot time. The quarterback takes the arrow out. Bring it on down to the inside of 10 seconds, and then they'll go for the last shot here.
Ooh, little Sonny switched the zone real quick. Let's see, Bill Self usually reacts well.
Give it to Ellis on a floater. Runs in. No, put back by Selden. That was very close. Selden knew he was working against the clock. Had to get it up fast. 15 points. Take a look at what Graham and Mason have done in that first half. Spectacular. We go to Holly with Coach Self.
Well, Coach, you went to your bench early and often in that first half. What's your mindset with this tournament, with your eye on the NCAA tournament?
We're trying to win today, so we actually did some good things. I thought Carlton gave us a great lift off the bench and shot the ball very, very well. But we're letting their guards, Edwards and Awandu, they're getting too close to the basket, either off of drives or off of putbacks.
What is it like for you as a coach to see your team really starting to come together and really gel right now for you?
Well, basketball is a pretty fickle sport. It can change overnight and change on a dime. But guys are playing hard and they're sharing the ball right now.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks, Holly. Bragg, 7 points. Perfect from the field. 45-30. Now let's send you to the Volkswagen halftime in the upcoming March Madness tournament.
They've been brilliant. They've been efficient on offense, outstanding on defense. They've moved the ball well. The guard's terrific. And Perry Ellis has been outstanding as well.
Well, the two guards that Fran talked about, 21 points. Mason perfect from the floor. Graham is 5 of 8. And oh, by the way, between them, 8 assists.
Wow. Did I ever tell you that Devontae Graham went to the same high school as Pete Maravich? Raleigh Broughton.
Interesting.
Yeah, before he went to prep school.
Picked up a little of that magic dust. So here we go. Edwards with K-State now operating in front of Coach Weber. Wandu on the drive, sealed up on the outside, and there's a whistle before the shot by Johnson.
There was one area Bill Selfie said he was not happy with, and he told Holly Rowe was guarding the dribble, and you see a Wandu got right to the basket. I think Bill was nitpicking.
Wade has been very quiet. Feeds Johnson in that low block, and Lucas playing with 2 fouls, got the rebound. Lucas spot up outside. Yes, knocked it down.
Another assist for Graham.
The Kansas bench is really enjoying what's going on.
I was just thinking the same thing, Brent.
Wade feeds Johnson again, back out to the corner, and Edwards, no. Long rebound. Here he comes. Here comes Mason. Spins inside. Tap back by Selden, but Mason was fouled. And he'll shoot a pair of free throws. I mean, it really is showtime.
Yes, yes. And that was a great crossover move he made as well. A little bit of the Euro step with a lot more speed.
I think he just looked over and he said, Mr. Fischello, now you're top 3?
Oh, you're not going to let me forget this, man. Man. Well, the reality is it's Monte Morris when he's healthy, this guy, and I would put him ahead of some of the other guys in the league, Cousins and Taylor. And this guy wins, but he's a lot like Perry Ellis in that he doesn't get the credit he deserves because this team is so balanced. But he hasn't forgotten the other 150 good things I've said about him in 3 years now, okay? When he was a freshman, and of course his dad is a native of my neck of the woods, Brooklyn.
Back on the outside now. Barry Brown is out there to get it in. Hurt. Lost the handle this time. Wade's been rather quiet, but not on that 3 ball. It gives him 5 points for the game. Had a career-high 20 last night in the elimination of Oklahoma State.
And I thought last night we saw confidence from Dean Wade. The coaching staff and teammates always telling him how good he can be. And there's hustle play by Wade.
He got a hand on that ball, deflected it in. So, Holly, I would think that Coach Weber would really want to get Wade more involved, wouldn't he?
That's right. In fact, at the half, we talked about how do you get Wade more involved. He said it's just unfortunate He came out, he had such a great night last night scoring the basketball, and came out tonight and hit an air ball on his first try. He said he just lost his tenacity and got too tentative. He said, we've got to get him going. He has to score for us. Let's see if he can get that back. He's already hit a big three here, his first field goal of the game.
Now he moves inside, has it stripped away. Mason, of course, just hit that last field goal. Graham coming down, firing it up, and there's a foul. Mason with 14 and Graham with 11, folks.
That's the only way to slow down Kansas tonight was to foul him. Otherwise, Graham had another chance to score or drop a dime.
With the ball in Mason's hands, he plays a two-man here with Ellis, and he gives it to Selden. Knocked away and out of bounds. 23 on the shot for the Jayhawks.
Selden's been quiet, Brent. He had that 33-point explosion against Kentucky. But he's told the coaching staff, I don't want to force offense when we're scoring in other plays. Like this guy.
Yeah, Ellis. It was interesting. Lucas came out, gave it up. He's not going to continue to shoot from the perimeter, and then Ellis moved into that space down low. This Kansas team spaces things out very well.
You know, it's the teamwork, it's the coordination, it's the coaching.
Up over the top to Wade. To the corner, and Edwards comes down. Basically, they gave him that field goal.
Yeah, Bill Self was beside himself. Almost like Kansas is on cruise right now.
Yeah, they are. So Self is thinking to himself now, when I'm going to give him a little bit of a rest and get Mikhailuk and some of the other fellas out on the floor. I got 16-40. I don't want to pull it out too quickly, obviously.
You know what you do? You put one of those young guys in with 3 or 4 veterans. And they've done that all year. You saw Bragg early with the 7 points.
A wonder on the drive, and Ellis read that pass coming perfectly.
Did. Yep. I've been impressed with Iwundu tonight, and you mentioned how young this team is.
Traylor's going to give Lucas a break. The Traylor picked up 2 fouls. Lucas has 2 fouls, so Traylor will come in now. Obviously, he'll get Bragg back out on the floor because he told Holly he was pleased with his shooting, and coming down, missing the shot. Here comes Mason again with that speed. He's got Graham off to the left. Graham pulled it out a little bit, thought about it. Selden, stop and go. Not this time. Iwundu, you're right. Iwundu's a pretty fluid athlete. Great pass on the inside, and Edwards finishes.
Yep, Iwundu is really the de facto point guard without Stokes, who's missed the last month of the season. Brown, a freshman, more of a scorer.
Graham's got an open Selden. Here's the 3 ball. No, and Edwards rebounds. Iwundu off on that wing. Kansas State trying to put together field goals here if they can. Iwundu on the drive. No. Yanked away by Traylor, and Graham with a speed. Live. Ellis finish.
Ellis just kept running, and Graham slowed up to let Ellis get ahead of him to the rim. But this is a minor thing, Brent. Last 3 or 4 possessions, Kansas giving up the dribble way too easily.
Edwards knocks down a 3 ball, and Edwards with 12 points here. He also has 7 rebounds and 2 assists. Strong game for Edwards.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Proud to employ and support hundreds of Team USA contenders. And the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event. Now through March 31st.
Now, despite this 15-point lead, The S word has come out. That's when I know it's really bad, when I'm in his huddles. Soft. He said, how soft are we? We are so soft. How slow are our guards? He is furious at the way his team is playing right now. The S word, never good. Bill says it like it's so dirty. They are too soft right now.
It's a four-letter word, Holly, that we've heard often in practice.
Bragg was not soft on that drive. Bragg with 9 points here tonight. Oh, by the way, folks, Kansas is shooting 70% here in the second half, 61% for the game.
And by the way, the best time to send your message to your team is when you're up 15 points. You know, you can be a little disgusted. Better than being down 15.
Man, Hall of Fame coach.
That's right.
See the drive and a little bit tougher that time in the foul.
But still, Brent, penetration. You know, that's something that's going to be addressed in this timeout.
That's a 17-point lead in this game. All Jayhawks. We've got a timeout in Kansas City.
And we'll be right back after this timeout.
Okay, let's go. Hunting groceries.
Jay Beecham.
Right in threes. Come on, Irish.
The Irish have tied it up at 70. It is a great game right now, Brent.
And tell LaFonso not to be cheering in the press box. I know he's an Irish guy. Come on.
You know where he lives? South Bend.
Of course, he's pulling for the home team.
Yeah, do you think?
I covered some of his games. He was a nice player.
Yes, he was. And a better guy, by the way.
So Mikhailuk is on the floor. Bragg with his third personal stays there. And they get the ball up the floor to Mason. Well, Graham is watching right now. Selden and Traylor stay out. This is Mason. Gets it back and fires the three ball, and Traylor has it knocked away. It'll be Jayhawk ball.
You made a great point in the first half, Brent. This Jayhawk team will likely see zone early in the tournament for sure. When you're a high seed. So this is good practice for them. But Kansas State doesn't play a lot of zone.
Handoff, and Mason comes through. Mikhailuk gets Bragg, and Bragg sets with the shot off the iron into Irwin's hands. There's Johnson now. And is that a fourth on Bragg? Yes, I believe it is. That's 4 fouls. And here comes Green.
It's just a quick shot, but he's not only not happy about the foul. Watch his reaction, Bill Self. You have to live with some of that because he is a freshman. But that foul was silly because all he had to do is go straight up.
We'll see now. Bragg will stay on the outside. He'll get past Self.
Oh yeah, he got past quickly.
He was in high speed. Now give me the bench.
No eye contact.
Let me get the seat down at the end of the bench now. If I get down here, maybe he'll forget about that. He'll see something else.
Exactly, and no eye contact. That's key. Coach-player relationship right there.
Great. High ball screen now by Perry Ellis back on the floor. Graham's with him. And so Mason will get a break. And Green. They load Ellis. Double back now. Graham ball fake. Picked it up. Quick hands. Mikhailuk. 3 on the shot. Graham's got to go. And that's a shot clock violation. And there you have Baylor awaits our winner tomorrow night at 6 Kansas City time. And then tonight with John Shambi and Miles Simon will be taking over the microphones. You got 2 more. The big one, of course, Oklahoma, Iowa State. And the winner of the 2 games tonight will play in the second semifinal tomorrow. Johnson is fouled, so he'll be coming up to the Shiro regarding Mr. Green. If the Jayhawks keep this lead and are running the clock out, he will not go slam in a dunk at the end of this game. Okay, he did it in Allen against Kansas State, and he went to the woodshed. Okay?
It's so funny you say that. On Saturday afternoon in that senior day win over Iowa State,
right?
Guess who had a breakaway layup with the lead and time running out?
Yes.
And he kind of trailed off to the sideline. So let's give him credit for...
he's a good learner.
Yeah, he's a quick learner. Yep. He's lethal.
Pops out.
He's a lethal shooter.
Ellis was waiting, but McCulloch was well defended that time. Here is Green. Yes, he's a marksman.
And you can tell by the way they defend him.
And here comes McCulloch, but ball, I believe, is out of bounds. They go over to the Wildcats. 12:20 to go here in the second half. A little frustration for the coach. Things not going as well as they did.
Well, they're sleepwalking right now, Brent. And I got to tell you now, he is not happy with the defense. Now, someone at home's watching saying 42 points, but Kansas State's gotten the ball inside, and they're beating them off the dribble with Jayhawks. Bill's got bigger fish to fry than this quarterfinal game.
Driving inside was Irvin. The ball's going to go over. And, you know, it's interesting we've got Bill Self we've been talking a lot about. There's Coach Weber, okay? So Bill Self put together a great team at Illinois. All right? It was a terrific team. Then he came here, became the head coach at Kansas, and Coach Weber took over, and he took that Illinois team to a Final Four. Didn't win it.
Yep.
But it was interesting that Weber followed him, and now here he is competing against him in the Big 12. Trailer steps out, knocks down. That'll make Bill a little bit happier.
Well, it's a big shadow to try to fill. You know, Bill works in the shadows of Bruce Weber. Bruce, in his own right, a good coach, but it's hard to compare yourself to Bill Self, who is heading to the Hall of Fame. There's no question.
Just a matter of when. So the Jayhawks had a 20-point lead in this game.
And credits per line to help you switch to AT&T.
Brent, we gave LaFonso Ellis a sedative so he could talk over this Notre Dame play. Duke taking him on. Luke Kennard, the miss, Fonz.
Yeah, he's so close. They got a good look at it. That's all you want at the end of games, is to get a good look.
And so we've got overtime over on ESPN. The drama continues. Brent?
All right, overtime in that game. There's some great games unfolding, and here, the #1 seed in the Big 12 leads Kansas State 59-42. 11.5 to go, Fran, and Mason back on the floor with Graham, the two guards. Ellis is there, Traylor and McCulloch.
Right now, yeah, if you're Kansas, you want to stay sharp. Use the ball, get good shots, and don't get away from what you do well.
And Traylor couldn't clean it up underneath after Graham missed on the drive. And the big fella steps out, and Hurt misses that shot. McCulloch, head man, Mason, beautiful pass.
Oh, nice.
And a wraparound. What a terrific play.
So smart when you use that rim. Goes to the other side. Good spin off the glass. Another assist for Graham.
And a steal, Mason knocks it back out of bounds, and Barry Brown, I think, was looking for the foul, but
oh yeah, watch this, Brent. Shot blocker's going to come into play. He's going to take it to the other side. That's what we call putting the defender in jail, by using the rim.
You know, that's what coaches say about McCulloch. Get it out of your hands fast if you've got him. You know what he did after that long rebound. He saw him and fed Mason beautifully.
Well, they play so well together, don't they? Mason and Graham.
Knocked out of bounds by Mason. Big smile for Fran as he goes by.
Yeah. See him wave at me? You know, the beauty of the 2 point guards, and I've said this a couple of times every year, is you can rest on offense when you don't have the ball.
There's no doubt about it.
Two co-pilots.
Having two, and we know how important point guards are, especially when you come down to tournament.
Yes.
Edwards down another 3 ball. He's got 15 points. And he's to go along with his 8 rebounds, 2 assists. I don't know how many shots he blocked. Here comes Graham. Feed on the inside, and 2 more points.
And 1 more assist for Graham. And I think that's 7 right now. He's been absolutely rock solid.
Harry Ellis, 15 points. You saw him jump up on the screen. Edwards is feeling it. And McCulloch bumping and grinding, got fouled it. That's one of those Chick Hearn, I use this all the time. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, and that's just what I think about that. Right there.
Yep, I got you. Of course, these guys are trying to get to the NCAA tournament.
Yes, they are. And you do that by blowing the whistle. I got it. I got it.
You're a quick learner. Quick learner. There used to be no autopsy, no foul in the NBA.
That was so true.
They cleaned the game
back
up.
in the other did.
Oh, man.
Some of those fights that they talk about with the Rochester Royals and some of those teams, they were done it. Ellis.
Oh, pass
Great
it.
pass to Taylor with the right hand.
Looked like a sweeping hook. Traylor, they've done that so many times in practice. And talk about two guys that have been together for 4 years. Traylor has been here for 5.
With a 20-point advantage here coming down inside of 10 minutes. Hurt lobs it out of bounds.
Tried to go high low, but watch this now. This looks like there's the ISO. Watch Ellis is going to shoot a running hook. Nope. Good lob to Traylor on the backside. And that bench, Brent, you mentioned it earlier. They have been really, really good all day long.
They've been alive over there. Yep. They saw all that attention at the Monmouth bench. They said enough of that. Mason. Not that time. So Brown is a freshman from Florida. Like he's got a little bit of an upside. Irvin, junior, they'll both be back. Did you tell me that Kansas State was going to travel to Europe for a while?
Yes. They've got a lot of guys back, Brent, so they're going to take a trip to Italy and Switzerland, I believe, next August. They'll get a chance to bond a little more, play some games, and get the extra practice time. Just a chance to travel Europe and grow your team chemistry. A lot of teams do that, obviously. They'll have Stokes back. Got a good freshman coming in from St. Louis, Omar Sneed. Sneed, yep. Keep your eye on that kid when we see him next year. Hopefully on a big Monday in Manhattan, right, when they're playing the Jayhawks. And we'll get over to Varsity Donuts.
Oh, yeah. I missed being there.
We missed there this year, yep.
There's Edwards again.
Step back move. I tell you, he's filling the stat sheet right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Hope the coach leaves him out there. And 8 minutes to go. See if we give him a little firepower. Here comes that familiar Kansas weave. Mikhailuk will fire a 3-ball sweep. I believe that's his first field goal of the game.
Yep, and I'm counting that Graham's got another assist. That's 8. 11 points, 8 assists.
Brown misses and Selden picks off the rebound. Ever since you told me it's 70% on the weak side, I've been watching. Rebound.
There you go.
There it is. And Mikhailuk saved it.
I had a lot of teams that missed them.
Oh my goodness, what a pass by Selden. Yep. Oh, mercy.
They're carving him now.
You know, the one people ask me, Hunter Mickelson, by the way, is up. He's going to see his first action. The one thing I keep telling people about the Jayhawk team playing is that, you know, the great triple overtime. Most Oklahoma love it. But I think this is a much better team than that night as Edwards knocks down another 3-ball. I honestly think there's that much improvement with the Jayhawks.
That game took a lot out of them. Bill Self had to develop his bench after that. And that's exactly right.
That's a very good point, Frank. Timeout.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66. Proud sponsor of
Heald and George Niang will be in that game. And, of course, Harry Ellis is right here. But what a shootout that figures to be tonight, huh, Fran?
Absolutely. Buddy Hield, just a both guys, Hield, Niang, remarkable careers. We watched them grow up, Brent. And both of those guys are junkies. Have gotten better every year.
Again, what a future that youngster has. He's so smooth. Another one of those players you just don't, you know, he's nothing flashy about Mikhailuk.
I'm going to tell you, Brent, they have changed his footwork on his shooting, and they've shortened it, and you can see the accuracy really improving. I want you to watch. He used to jump into his shots in a two-step. Now it's just a simple 1-2. One hits the ground, second hits, doesn't have a lot of movement in it. He's balanced, goes straight up, and his shooting has improved dramatically. Last year, he struggled behind the arc. He's had some big games this year, 5 for 5 a couple weeks ago against Texas Tech.
So finally sitting down, and looks to me like he's just sort of enjoying things right now. Okay, he's not going to get too upset. 6.5 minutes. He'll find something. Though.
Yes, he will.
He'll find something.
Yes, he will.
Because he's got to get him ready for the Baylor Bears.
That's exactly right.
And Mikhailuk, and it's just not a foul in the Ukraine.
Yeah. There's no question about that. And that, to me, is incidental right there. To me, that one was incidental.
Wandu, nice looking player Wandu is, and he's a junior from Houston.
One more year.
Player, he'll be back. He'll be one of our smoother warriors, I think, next year in the conference. I would guess we didn't have a big Monday game in Manhattan. I'm pretty sure we'll be in there.
I bet. Yep, this is going to be a solid young team. You know, they got 17 wins, Brent. They've got, we said earlier, 15 losses, 13 to teams that are ranked in the top 25. And they don't really have a bad loss on their schedule, and it's been a young team. So I think they'll keep playing postseason somewhere, hopefully the NIT. The NIT's got a lot of those mid-major automatic, or those regular season champions they've got to account for this year.
Turnover. Lead pass to Irvin. Ball fake, throw it up. Off the looking shot, and the ball's going to go back to Kansas State. We're going to remind you that after the ACC quarterfinals, Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt will be coming your way. A lot of things going on. What we've got here with all the conference tournaments and the spring training heating up. Let's go to watch.
Oh, nice block.
Is that trailer?
Now, is that now? If you're jumping straight up now, I'd like to see that. This is a good crew, done a good job today, but wow, the trailer elevate. That's a good block, man. That's levitation, Holmes. Take a look at that. See, it's a smart play by Traylor, because as long as you jump straight up inside the arc, they can't call you for being that secondary defender nonsense.
Exactly.
And that was...
It's unfortunate that's his fourth personal.
Yeah, that was a great block, I thought.
He and Bragg. And for more on Jamar, let's go to Holly.
Well, Jamari Traylor is a great story. He grew up for part of his life unsettled without a home of his own in Chicago. And he's come a long way. He was ineligible academically. He's now got his degree in December and will graduate from KU. And on senior night Saturday in Lawrence, he gave one of the most beautiful speeches I've ever heard. And he talked about Bill Self being in the huddle, and he could see in Bill Self's eyes how much he cared about Jamari. And Jamari said, when I knew how much Coach Self cared about me, I knew I'd do anything for that man, and I love you. And Bill Self started crying. There were tears rolling down his face. And in all the years I've ever covered him, everyone I've talked to, they've never seen Bill cry at one of those ceremonies. So a very special connection for Coach Self and Jamari Traylor, just a young boy who's grown into a tremendous young man.
Holly and friends, stick with me. I have a feeling with all these kids at Kansas, Holly, they have deep respect for Bill Self. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, Coach Self, they call him one of the coolest cats ever. Is he's hard on them, and then he loves them up. And they would do anything for this guy, and I think you're seeing just how hard they'll play for him right now.
Yeah, and the way he criticizes Holly, or coaches, I should say, it's almost like you're letting him down. Like he'll say in practice, Brent, you're so much better than that. You know, we need more from you. And it's not the negativity that you sometimes see in coaching. You have to work. You have to be with him off the court. If you don't spend time with them off the court, you cannot be tough on them on the court. They've got to know you care about them. But he does it in a way like you don't want to let him down.
Traylor, and here comes the free throw line. You know, Fran, another point is, you know, he's had lottery picks for the last decade. Okay, we've been around him. Morris twin that we go on and on. Wiggins and I've never seen him, when I've talked to him privately about kids who I think, well, Joel Embiid, I'm going to tell you about Joel Embiid. I thought he should come back to school. I didn't care what the, and Bill said, no, Brent, no. He's got, you know, he should go. He's always supportive of the youngsters. He's never selfish in trying to keep one of these kids from going and signing a professional contract.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, he's not alone. There's some guys that manage the one and done really well, like John Calipari, Coach K. But we watched him many practices, and I think Holly said it best. He's just a cool guy for these young guys to play for.
Yeah, exactly. Kansas is very fortunate to have it. And the entire coaching staff, I think it's one of the better coaching staffs in college that I've been around. Over there.
Yep, got Kurt Townsend.
There we are.
Terrence Howard, and Ron Roberts to the left in that beautiful gray suit. There's Kurt Townsend on his right, Terrence Howard, Freddie Quarterbaum, and now it's time to maybe start to rest some guys for tomorrow as they get ready for Baylor.
It's a tough physical game. I was impressed with the way Baylor took it to the Longhorns here today.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
A good game now.
One thing about Baylor, Brent, they don't have any bad losses on their schedule either. And Kansas got them in a close game in Waco a couple weeks ago. Rest today with that front line of Baylor. Boy, I'll tell you, what an afternoon. If you're buying stock in Edwards,
give that young man a sack of sunflowers.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Bragg is back on the floor. 4 fouls for him. Mikhailuk going to give it back to him. Spot, fire, bingo.
Yep. Watch out. 3 for 6 on the year behind the arc. Young man from the same high school that produced the great Mike Golick.
Golick's high school.
Yeah, Villa Angela, St. Joe's. Of course, Clark Kellogg wasn't bad either.
He was pretty good.
Desmond Howard wasn't bad either.
Oh, that was a good move by Johnson. Coming away from the basket with the left hand. I really, you know, I always talk about next year with these kids because I said to them, yeah, Bill's going to have to rebuild a little bit. And somebody from the conference over there said, yeah, we've never seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
And Bright fouls out. Terrific performance by him. He had a dozen points.
Quietly a dozen, right?
Yeah. And that's a career high, obviously, for the freshman. Nicholson.
I think we're going to be talking a lot about DJ Johnson next year, his senior year. You know, he's finally healthy as he's going to catch a blow right there, but he's healthy. And Brent, down the stretch of this season, he's been in double figures virtually every night.
Well, this is going to be important for Coach Weber to be really positive following this. He won a game, young team. You know, listen, he ran guys off.
Yes, he did.
Last year. There was a bad vibe in that locker room in Manhattan.
I think they've got a lot of it straightened out. Hopefully they're going to keep playing some more ball here in the next couple weeks. I know they want to keep playing.
Well, I suppose NIT, right?
Yeah, you would think so. And as I said, they're the best 17-15 team in the country. These guys had North Carolina down for much of the game in Kansas City back in November.
Oh, off his body, and here comes Mason, and he gives it to Mickelson. Oh, man. Stuffed in by Ellis. But how about Mason giving Mickelson that field goal when he could have gone for it himself? I love the way they play. Spinning move, won't stay down. That's the first thing that hasn't gone right for Edwards all afternoon. Spun out. Edwards with a 23-point game and 10 rebounds. Double-double for this young man. He's a senior from Canada, Whitby, Ontario. This time, Mickelson able to score.
The transfer from Arkansas, he sprained his ankle midway through the Big 12. Hadn't been quite the same because, remember, Brent, he started a number of games before Landon Lucas locked that spot down.
Bill's going to give a lot of youngsters here a chance for a few minutes. You know, I think I see Vic back up over there for him. Hurt. Into Ellis's hands. I think they probably could carry Ellis break here pretty soon. Foul by Edwards. We're going to take a break.
Well, you talked about it, Brent. Unselfishness all day long. Starting with Graham and Mason. Mason trying to get Mickelson on the board. Spins out, but guess what? It's senior day. Perry Ellis coming.
LaFonso Ellis, Duke and Notre Dame. The Irish up by 3, and Steve Vastoria here.
Steve Astoria with a nice runner. Notre Dame's ability to knock down some threes late was really good.
The Irish win at 84-79. Also Illinois and Iowa. This has been a good game here in the Big Ten as well. It's currently Illinois to take it 68-66. Brent, over to you.
Congratulations to LaFonso Ellis and all of the Notre Dame fans. Big win for him. Big win for the Irish, Frank.
Yep, that's the second time they've beaten Duke this season. Beat him in Durham, I believe.
Yeah, there goes Ellis out. They waited for him to shoot the free throws. Traylor, Mickelson, Green, Kyler, and tell me about Vic, Fran. I haven't seen a lot of him. I almost think he's got some ability.
He does. He's one of the best athletes on the team, Brent. And I talked to Bill about a week ago about him. And he said, I've told him he's not going to play this year. And I told his mom. And he said, just hang in with me because we really like him. That's what he told Mom. And but he told LeGerald, you're not going to play much this year. But guys like you who stay in the program for 4 years wind up being really good players.
Green has taken away. What a great hustle move by Traylor on the block.
Yep, Roletter trying to get on the board. The walk on from Wichita, who has played some minutes this year. Take a look. Good hustle by Traylor. But what would you expect from Jamari Traylor? That's in his DNA.
And knocking down the shot is Barry Brown. Last 2 minutes. The Jayhawks are headed to the semifinals. I'd like to see Vic hoist one up here.
Yeah, no, you know what, Brent? He's got a good percentage. He's
got the ball right now.
Yeah, he's about 43% on the year.
Looks like he's got a little speed. Kind of forced that one up, but the one fellow that's not going to be shooting here in another minute is going to be Green. Bank it. Great pass.
Nice.
Yeah, Roletter cut beautifully for Wade.
Excellent.
There's a walk-on move.
Yep.
Here they come. Here comes Coach's son, Tyler. Evan Manning. Danny's watching in the stands. And, but you know, there is somebody who's passing I really do want to talk about. I knew him. Clyde LaVellette, passing away last night, a Kansas legend. Folks, he had one of the first all-time great hook shots that I ever saw. And he was such a nice, gentle giant. And Fran, did you get to meet Clyde in all your travels?
No, but I certainly know about those teams in the early 50s. And Bill Hoagland is here today, one of his teammates, pointed him out to me before the game. And it's part of that great tradition Clyde developed. And not only the fact that he's in the Hall of Fame, but think about it. This is the birthplace of basketball. Nichols, you know, in college basketball in terms of Naismith and Fog Allen and great teams.
Tyler, everybody on that bench wanted that to fall here as the final 45 seconds. Big win for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks did hit the 80 mark, which you thought they might in this game, Fran. And 148 up on the board. And don't forget now, brackets open on Sunday. Fill out your bracket at ESPN.com/bracket. Download the Tournament Challenges app. You know, Brent, I have never, ever had good luck in a bracket.
No.
I always fill one out. I mean, they're fun.
No, they're fun, but they the more you know, the worse your bracket is. You know, that's how I feel about it.
Turn around by Wade into Green's hands. Now, here's the final 20 seconds. All eyes are on Green, especially Coach Self. Fires it off to the side, gets it back. He's got 12 seconds. Driving, kicking it over to the side, not looking for a slam dunk.
That's a coach's kid right there.
There it is.
That coach's kid's going to hold it.
Yeah.
He knows the etiquette.
He knows how to do it.
Yep.
Lean over. Your feeling about the Jayhawks and Baylor?
Physical inside for sure. Guard play is going to be important. Lester Medford and Al Freeman have to bring their A game. They're capable of it. And, you know, they say it's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, but not when you're the Jayhawks. challenge for Scott Drew's team. Going to be fun. Fun semi.
85-63 is the final score. And so our first semifinal is set for tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Kansas City time, Baylor, Kansas. And then tonight, West Virginia and TCU, followed by Oklahoma, Iowa State, and the two winners, of course, will meet in our second